All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel here at Lake Pro Tackle. I have my high school anglers, Bennett and Gavin here, and we're doing a little impromptu podcast. It is their winter break, and we're here at the shop just hanging out, talking with customers, talking about some of the baits that got them through the season thus far. Bennett, I guess let's start with you. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us what year you're in, what your favorite fishing strength is. Kind of just give us a little intro about you.
What's up, y'all? Bennett McBride. I am a senior at Flower Mountain High School. I've been power fishing most of this year. Just run these DT6s and DT8s. So also throwing some big baits this year. So that was pretty cool. But we'll get more into that.
What's up, guys? Gavin Robinson. First year at Flower Mountain, and I'm a senior at Bennett. Been real excited this year, but also been throwing the DTs and a lot of crankbaits. Just
Power fishing?
Power fishing.
Yeah,
Pretty much the same thing as
well,
Bennett.
where are you from originally?
Virginia, so it's not as much power fishing, more finesse and finicky stuff like drop shots and Nico rig and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's different here, but
yeah, definitely. So we're gonna kick it off with this main topic here. So as a high school captain, I get the unique experience that I can watch the kids fish, and I can fish a little bit if I want in the Texas high school trail. But for Bassmasters, I'm really sitting in the back, usually with a camera, and I know you guys are definitely enjoying the tournament videos based on just however many number of views and interactions and comments congratulating the boys on that. But we really want to make sure that y'all know that we're here to support high school anglers. I think we're in a very unique position as a tackle shop, especially one local up here in North Texas, to support a bunch of different high schools around the area. And as your captain, guys, we've had a wonderful year. Each of you are in separate teams for your Metroplex division, which is the one that really counts for Texas high school.
Yeah.
But out of division, your track record is astounding, not only in Texas high school, but also in the Bass Nation tournaments, which are popping up here. So if you're in the northeast region of Texas and you want to get involved, definitely reach out to us. We'll put you in contact with the people you need to know, so you can fish tournaments just like Bennett and Gavin here in the Bass Nation high school tournaments, or youth tournaments, really, because middle school and high school can also fish them. So we're going to kind of recap each of the tournaments, go back all the way to Louisville, kind of talk about each strategy that y'all used, and I think a lot of them, the fish hadn't really changed that much, right?
no, not really.
In terms of where they were setting up and all that. So, first place Louisville. Gavin, you want to kind of break down Louisville, how it went?
We were just running the bridges, really. The riprap on the bridges, just throwing the Z2, caught I think all of our fish on the
Majority.
Z2.
Yeah. I think we had one keeper on a 6.
Yeah, one keeper on a DT6, I think. But we were just throwing those all day, and it just worked. The fish were liking it.
Right.
They were sitting where they needed to sit. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think Bennett noticed on the forward-facing sonar, because we started putting my live scope unit on Gavin's boat for those tournaments, but Gavin did have active target. You could see bait kind of moving, even on the 2D imaging. You could see the bait starting to move up during the day, especially when it got sunny.
Yeah,
because it started out a little cloudy, I think.
Definitely overcast.
Yeah. So why was the Z2 or something like the DT6 or DT8 working so well that day?
Well, I mean, shoot. Those fish, how they were sitting on the bottom, they were ambushing bait that was above them. And so when that bait would come crawling by, they would react to it and then get behind it and then ambush that single bait. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right, absolutely. And Gavin caught really the kicker fish that probably definitely sealed the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
On, I think it was, a 5XD or
5XD,
something?
That was one, yeah.
And I think that was the only fish that didn't come off like a Z2 or a shallower diving crankbait. But I think you were still throwing it in 6 foot of water.
Yeah, I was definitely throwing it way too shallow for a 5XD, but it worked, so.
Yeah, I know a lot of the other teams like Dillon and Colum, which they're leading Texas high school Metroplex division right now. They've gone 3 for 3 in Texas high school, and they're leading AOY.
They're smashing the game.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
They were on a really good bite the week before, and a lot of the fish that they patterned, the water level had gone down, and a lot of the fish that they were on moved out of those areas and those brush areas that they were catching them on.
Yeah, they really just moved to our areas.
Yeah, essentially, because you started 50 yards away.
50 yards from them.
watching each other fish. It was pretty cool, but
Yep. You're like, oh man, we're in a good area. We're
must be in a
behind
good area.
Yeah. Fish must be here.
But no, that's awesome. Before we keep moving forward here, guys, I want to give a big shout out to Lake Fork Trophy Lures. They got some new ownership since 2022. Lake Fork Trophy Lures has been astounding in supporting high school anglers. They make some awesome products. They hooked us up with some prototype baits, and now they are coming out with the brand new line of colors. This is Bourbon Street here, so if you put in an order, I think it's like the first 12-ish orders are going to get a free bag of Lake Fork Trophy Lures. This color is Bourbon Street, but they're also coming out with a couple other ones, so stay tuned for that. Got a little thank you note from them, and of course you get your free bag of bait. So definitely check out Lake Fork Trophy Lures. They are super amazing, and they've got some really, really cool stuff coming out here very, very soon. So Louisville, that was a win.
yes.
First time y'all
ever on a bass boat together.
It was great.
Ever. So that was super awesome. I think what definitely makes teams successful is like team chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, I like to tell people, like, if one person's like a power fisherman, one person's either in the back with like a drop shot or like a finesse bait,
Dragon.
right? But when you get two power fishermen together, and you work well together, you're not hitting each other with crankbaits and stuff, which has happened it hasn't happened yet, but Bennett always like, oh man, that crankbait straight by my face.
Always tell me to watch out.
Yeah, watch out, Gavin. But you get two power fishermen like these two here, they can always fill the boat up, and that's the main thing in high school fishing, I think, around here is you just got to catch five, which consistently y'all have done every single tournament, I think, except for
this most recent one.
the most recent Texoma, where you got three fish.
Yeah.
3 good ones.
But there were
three
three
good
solid
goods.
fish.
So after Louisville, you each respectively fished. No, I guess no. Before that, you each respectively fished Louisville and Texas High School.
Yeah.
And then like Whitney was next, and that was a really fun tournament. That was pre-fishing for their in-division tournament the week after it, but y'all managed to pull out a 4th place finish with, I think, 1 smallmouth and 4 largemouth on a very, very tough Lake Whitney. Algae bloom had come through, wiped out the lake pretty good, and the weights were really, really down.
Really down.
What did we have? 9? We had like 9.
I think you had 9.5 pounds, something like that. And I think the winners only had
I think
11.
it was 11 or 12.
Yeah, like barely.
High 11 maybe.
Yeah, so it was really, really tough, and I think y'all did about the same thing. Bennett, you want to break down Whitney? I think you caught most of the fish that day.
Yeah,
Probably.
really Whitney on another one of these guys, DT6. But we were running and gunning that lake. We ran the boat out of gas. We had to go fill up on gas halfway through the tournament. But
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But fished in the morning. We fished a bunch of pea gravel rock, and I think that's where the smallmouth and 1 largemouth were caught off of that. And then we started running bluff walls a lot after that, and that was just hourly fish, right? So it was if you stayed at the front of the boat and kept casting, you would eventually hook up. But
they were, I think, Bennett caught like a 9 pound flathead and a couple little ones. But I think that pea gravel rock, little rocky transition areas where they should be set up was definitely one of the tickets there. I think Gavin caught the smallmouth in the morning. Which it was too dark for the GoPro. We still had our running light in. But they were choking it.
Oh,
and that's another thing. The changing of the hooks. That's a big player. All the fish, I've talked about it in a couple videos. The BKK Spear 71s, those little tiny EWG hooks, wonderful on like a Z2, wonderful on like a DT8. It fits really well on the bait, and it's small enough to where that fish actually gets the bait in its mouth. You set the hook, and it's getting in the boat. So I think that's been a real big key player in the success of landing fish. I don't think y'all have really even lost a fish this year.
I don't.
No, not really.
Not in a tournament, at least. No.
I'm usually sitting in the bottom of the boat, changing your hooks out. The stock hooks on like a DT, they're just normal round bins, but they're much thicker gauge. So I still tell y'all to set the hook, which is good. So let's see. After Whitney, we go on to Lake Texoma for the North Division.
Texas High School Open.
And that was all smallmouth, or 1 largemouth, right?
1 largemouth.
1 largemouth, 4
small
largemouth.
largemouth.
Gavin, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, so that's 230 boat tournament, bigger
More.
than
No, there's more.
more.
There's definitely.
I think it was like
more.
250
Yeah.
almost.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, a lot bigger than Metroplex. And
Oh yeah.
definitely. What we're doing? Yeah, that's
A-rigs,
A-rigs. Yeah,
yeah.
A-rigs on pretty much one bank the entire day, and
Yeah.
Bennett was hammering on the A-rigs and then like catching fish after fish, and
Shoot.
I was still trying.
Gavin was in the
Gavin
bottom
was
of the
that
boat.
boy.
Yeah.
I was trying to fix my A-rig, and I
Gavin's
just
in the
couldn't
bottom
let
of
me.
the boat, and I got one on, throw him in the live well, make another cast, got one on, throw him in the live well.
And that was
That's
a big
pretty cool.
morning bite.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it was
you
all
filled the well.
morning bite.
Yeah,
Because
We didn't catch a fish after 11,
No.
did we?
Yeah, no. We
Well,
just
okay,
kinda-
we caught fish after 11. We didn't
No
make
keep-
it cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Shane's Baits,
Mini Blades of Glory.
Mini Blades of Glory was a player,
Yeah.
and then the
And
Picasso,
was
Picasso Finesse, no Junior,
Yes,
Junior,
yeah.
Picasso
Picasso
Junior.
Junior.
And those were all really light heads,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
the goal was to keep it off the bottom, yet always rising. Because
Yeah.
a lot of the times a smallmouth will rise with your bait, and if it dips down, they're gonna stop chasing it. And that's when the water was pretty low, and a lot of the good cut banks that we normally
Yep.
fish, that Bennett fished last year and I fished in the past, a lot of those good cut banks were almost out of the water.
Yeah.
So we were definitely trying to, I was trying to show them that what I call the fuzz line. When you look down like a gradient slope,
Yep.
you see a bunch of fuzz, and you're like, okay, there's some flames here and there, you see some fish down those, but it was definitely an interesting tournament, to say the least. I think weights were also down that tournament as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember what we had.
I think we had over 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, it was like
over
10 and a
10
half, I
Yeah,
think.
probably.
But yeah, for smallmouth and a largemouth, smallmouth were definitely biting for a lot of people.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh
And
That kid had that huge small.
Oh,
yeah.
mouth.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
almost.
he almost broke the junior
Yeah.
lake record
Yeah.
with 6 point. He had a 6 point.
No.
No,
It
he
was
had
a
like a
5.2.
5.8.
I think it was no. I think
5.3?
record was 5.8, and then he
Yeah, he had a
5.3.
5.3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was
That was
so
a
close.
solid.
Really, really
that is a
big
solid
smallmouth.
smallmouth.
Yeah.
But y'all were using little tiny worm bar swim baits
Yep.
that you
Yep.
get
Come
here
here,
at
worm
Lakeport
bar.
Tackle. Want to talk about why they're so good?
They just, I really don't know. This is my first time ever using them. I've always used Strike King swim baits, but they just swim so well. The little paddle tail on them, and the fish just react to them.
I think another player with them is their size. They're tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're about 2 1/4
Yeah,
inch.
yeah, no, they're the perfect size for an A rig. But what I also do, I like to soak them in a little bit of bait fuel, just give it that extra scent. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Texoma fish, it's clear water, so scent definitely makes a huge difference. After that, the very first time any of us had been to Lake of the Pines,
yep,
that was a 10th place finish. All the weights were super, super tight. Like half a pound would have moved you up 3 places.
Yeah. it was-
Caught some massive crappie that trip.
That's
yeah,
fun.
that was pretty. Cool.
Yep. So basically, I don't know who wants to talk about Pines.
So really, that was probably one of the toughest tournaments I've ever fished, just because going into it, one practice day, not knowing anything about the lake, having any information really. We pre-fish. I think we caught what one
One or
One
two
or two.
fish.
one
Yeah.
14-incher in
Yeah.
pre-fish maybe,
And that was
And-
way up north. We didn't even
Yeah,
fish
we didn't
way
even
up-
fish
we
up
didn't
north.
fish north during
Yeah.
the tournament.
which is where the tournament was won, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Probably.
it was just really tough, and luckily we got on a quick crankbait bite.
It was just one after another.
Yeah.
Spot bass.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, just saw some bait pop, and we're like, hey, let's troll motor over there, and I think we caught 2 spots right
Yeah.
back to
two,
back.
2 or 3 spots right back
Yeah.
to back.
And then,
pretty cool.
yeah, it was almost like a flurry deal because early in the morning at the first spot,
We had those 2.
You had the
Oh,
two
we
largemouth.
did have- Yeah, we did have
Off
the
that
two
one.
largemouth.
And that
Wild.
was on a little DT8 on the.
No, it was on a 6, I thought, or was it on 8?
I don't know.
I don't
Whatever
know.
you
Some
had tight
DT.
on.
It was, yeah, it was
it
one of the
two.
DTs.
We're always throwing a DT.
Yeah, DT stay tight on.
Always.
Always. But yeah, so that was early in the morning, and then we fished around a bunch of the bridges and stuff. Saw a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Not catching fish.
Yeah,
And
no.
then all of a sudden you said it. I mean, you saw some bait pop like over on a point, and it's like, oh, we gotta go check that out, and it was just instant. Filled the well up with some spotted bass, but overall super super tough.
Yeah.
That one, y'all get one drop for Angler of the Year.
That's gonna be the drop.
That's probably
gonna
going
have
to be
to
the
be
drop,
the drop.
unless you really stumble at someone's coming up here.
Which we can't have that because we want to go to the national championship. So
we need to go to that.
Right. So after Pines, you each fished Ray Roberts for Metroplex.
Yep.
Gavin didn't catch a fish.
I zeroed that one.
And Bennett caught a
one.
single 4-pounder.
Single 4-pounder, yeah.
Which put him up in, I don't even know what place.
No.
Like 40th or something.
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere he caught a fish, so that's positive.
Yeah.
But Ray Roberts was pretty tough overall as well. Dylan and Colum smashed him with 21 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
So props to them. Dylan is definitely a hammer on the forward-facing sonar, which is how they mainly caught them from what I've heard. But after that, the final stop of the year, of the 2023 year, was Lake Texoma, yet again for Bassmaster or Bass Nation. And that was a 5th place tournament. Again, super, super close weights. I think there was only about 2.5 pounds separating you in first place.
Yep.
And you only brought in 3 fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My fault. I could have stepped up.
You know, we're a team.
But unlike Texoma for North Division, it was 3 largemouth this one.
Yeah.
3 solid largemouth at that.
Bennett, you want to talk about how you caught him early in the morning?
Sure. So, I think okay. So that first fish was on a jerk bait, just sitting on a little rocky point.
KVD 200.
KVD 200. Yeah, and then that second fish, probably my coolest catch of the year in the tournament at least, was on the Shimano Armor Joint, y'all. So just working the bank and throw up there, give it a few twitches real quick, and boom, got ambushed really quick. It's a pretty cool fight. My boy over here with the net missed the first net job, so you know how that goes. But we got him in the boat, so that was
it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
The bait itself, if you don't know, I've talked about it a lot, but the bait itself folds in half almost, and when that fish sucks the bait in, most of the time gets 2 hooks. The net knocked out the first hook, the first miss, and then luckily got it in the net the second one. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god! I saw the hook come out of the fish's mouth. I'm like, oh my god, this fish is gonna
we're gonna lose this 3-pounder.
It's gonna get off. But no, the first one jerkbait, second one armor joint, and then third one was way later in the day.
Way late in the day.
The winds were blowing 25,
30,
pretty sustained. So we trailered 40 minutes back down to the south end in Eisenhower, and then Bennett caught one on a
Mini Blades of Glory, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
So shoot, that one was also on just another nothing bank, but threw up there, took a few reels, set the hook. Sam goes, it's a small one. I said it wasn't. Got it in the net. It was 4-pounder, so that was pretty cool.
Yep. But that was a tough tournament. Very rough. I think if the winds weren't as bad and it wasn't a 40-minute drive back up to the starting spot, I think y'all could have filled a limit, especially on the big baits, or even finessing down like a ton. But it's just kind of how it shapes out. We've got some tournaments we're looking forward to here. Y'all, I guess together have could fish Ray Hubbard. It's going to be a very busy spring season. So each week there should be a new tournament video, hopefully.
Something like that.
Yeah, if I can crank them out each week. But the first tournament that y'all are able to fish together is a Texas High School Ray Hubbard tournament for the North Division, and that's the really, really big division that most people don't enjoy fishing just because of all the boats that are in there.
Massive boat field.
But that should be a forward-facing sonar deal, if I'm not mistaken. Most of the time, if you have forward-facing on Hubbard,
you do pretty well.
You can do pretty well. So you don't have to have it. You can just go power fish like you know how to do.
Which is what I did for the past 2 years, and I've had a top 5 and a top 10, I believe. So
Who knows?
I mean, it's kind of just one of those things.
Right.
Could just be a cranking deal.
Yeah, I mean, you can finesse crank down with a DT6 or, any other finesse crankbait like a Z1, Z2. But the week after Hubbard is the Cedar Creek tournament. So instead of fishing Hubbard, we might go pre-fish Cedar. It's really up in the air. There's Sunday.
We could go.
But
could take a school day off, I guess.
I guess you could. But yeah, Cedar Creek's gonna be interesting. We've never been there. It's one of those more, I guess, southeast Texas lakes from the Metroplex. It's just south of Tawakoni, and who knows? From what I've heard, it's a seawall kind of dock fishing. So we will see. And then after that one is the Metroplex Texoma.
Yep.
I believe. So y'all will fish on top of each other, essentially.
Pretty much.
The week after Cedar.
We fish all the same stuff, so
Yeah. No. Oh well. Plenty of fish, hopefully. And then after that is Bob Sandlin, which we've never been to. Actually, I think Bennett's been to Sandlin. Like,
I have not been to Sandlin.
You haven't?
Well, that sucks.
I know.
No.
Well, maybe we'll find some big crappie to weigh in. Or something. If anything else, y'all can catch spotted bass.
Yeah.
We can catch spotted bass and crappie pretty well.
Yeah. Crappie especially. And then after Sandlin, guys, it's really up to, if Gavin's currently just outside the cut for regionals, I believe. Or no, just inside. Just
inside the cut for regionals.
Whoa, now.
I
just need to do good at Texoma.
Yeah, do good at Texoma, and then
be
do
fishing
good
behind
at,
me, so.
Yeah. If I just don't zero. Or
just don't
zero.
Just
don't zero.
Maybe top
7.
seven.
That's a big thing. I mean, I think especially in like Metroplex division where it's not more competitive, but it's harder to move up in standings because there's less teams.
Yeah.
You've got to catch a fish at least 2 or 3 events.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, it's tough. You don't come from a fishing background.
Nope.
You come from a
probably
pretty good fishing background.
My brother fished, my dad fished.
Yeah. So for people that don't have fishing backgrounds, their parents don't fish, or they don't have like a guardian or family friend that fishes, it can be tough. That's how I was. I didn't really know anyone that fished when I moved here, and it definitely took a while. It took a couple of years for me to learn the legs, because you don't have a boat, you go pond fish, but you learn how to throw a Senko pretty well, shaky head,
dragon worm,
paw fishing.
Sometimes it's the greatest.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't like doing it, but I'd rather throw my DT8 because it's just what gets bit, Yeah. We've got to expose the color here, right?
Yeah.
The green gizzard shad.
Yep.
Has been a key.
It's got to have put at least 15 keepers in the boat for us, right?
Definitely.
At least. Like almost everything on Whitney.
At least.
Texoma was mainly A-rig.
Yeah.
About 1 or 2.
Opines was all
on that.
I think Opines was all
Opines.
But yeah, just about everywhere y'all go, and even in the like normal Metroplex tournaments, y'all are always throwing this.
Yeah.
I mean, green gizzard shad to me is still like an iridescent shad color, where it works in dirtier water because it's much pearlier than most of the other ones, and it also works in cleaner water because it is pearly. It definitely stands out. So that's kind of the summation of the past, I don't know, 4 months since August, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've had like one Saturday that was not a tournament. So I hope I'm getting a good Christmas gift from y'all.
You are.
Oh, okay.
Have fun next year.
Yeah.
Have fun next
when
year.
you're not going to have any Saturdays.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to have any Saturdays starting like February. I think our first tournament at Hubbard is
February
like February
3rd. Yeah.
And then it's February
10th and then
17th.
Yeah, and then...
and it's just going to keep going from there.
Oh, that's Texoma.
Yeah, that's Texoma.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's going to be a busy spring schedule, but we're looking forward to it. Do you have any, I guess, what's the word, hopes for any of the tournaments? You got any weights you want to break? I know we've set our goals for Bass Nation.
I think it's national qualification.
Yeah.
I think that's really where I'm at.
First or second place in AOI for Bass Nation.
Yeah.
Because Bass Nation, I think calculating like all the points and stuff, averages and all that, and drops, I think if you can crack at least 18 pounds at both tournaments, y'all should be able to make it into the first place spot. If not, it definitely keeps second.
That's a reach.
We're gonna have to hope Dylan does.
We're gonna hope our boy Dylan does good at is it
Clarks Hill, yeah, Georgia, and then y'all are also y'all are fishing Rayburn during. So if they end up not making state for Texas high school or just can't make it.
Yeah.
Sam Rayburn, qualifier for Bassmasters, also there
So
for the
it's-
2024 season.
It would be day 2 of state, correct? So I mean, I guess we'd have the option of first day of state
if they suck.
doesn't work. Yeah.
If it
And then
blows,
you
yeah.
hop in with no pre-fish, and it's just like, oh yeah,
Hey,
go fish
I
Rayburn.
mean,
Well, if I could pre-fish if I happen to not make states,
That's true.
yeah.
and if he makes it and just says like states is blowing, go fish Hubbard or Rayburn.
But essentially, that just means I don't have any time to go fish.
well,
well.
essentially.
Oh well.
But
Sorry.
that high school tournament, that's a straight national qualifier. So I think it's top 25.
That's
Well-
assuming there's
Yeah.
250 bows. They have 250 slots.
Well, you got to think all these high school kids are going to be at state. Well, at least
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same.
Well-
Like anyone that doesn't make state
which that's
can go.
yeah. But
who-
also,
you know.
it's not a Texas only tournament. You could have bordering states.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
any
any
around
high
the
school
country
kids-
can
Anyone
go.
that
but-
wants to fish it can come.
But I mean,
Yeah.
So
I'm sure a lot of kids from Texas, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I know a lot from like Oklahoma, Louisiana,
maybe Alabama.
Alabama.
I do think that's surprising that they would
Arkansas.
schedule those on top of each other, though.
Well,
I don't think
it's
they
just
meant
tough-
to do it.
It's just tough to
but-
find venues
Exactly.
like big enough
Yeah.
for 300 high schoolers.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Boats, trailers.
Yep.
Yeah.
People gotta have
How
like cabins,
lodging.
housing,
Yeah.
lodging, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a real deal, and hopefully y'all can make it to the national championship, state, regional. Regional is going to be at Possum Kingdom the 20th of April, I think.
Yep.
Which
Cool.
should be interesting for the Metro, North, and West
Yeah.
regions, which is
Yeah.
the 3 biggest regions, I believe.
Yeah.
Those West boys gonna.
Those
Gonna
West
drop
boys
some
are going to drop
bags.
some bags.
We
Yeah.
gotta go. Oh wait, is that April?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
April, so we've got time between end of March-ish to go fish that. So
What do you think it'll take
PK?
to make
to make
state,
state? I'm thinking.
What
Five
is the
and a
cutoff?
half.
Five
What is
and
the
a half?
cutoff for to make
it's
states? from
30%. 30%
30%.
from regional go to state.
Yeah.
Top 30%.
Yeah. So you
So
gotta,
that's
you
like-
gotta. I think you take
How many
in.
boats
So
go
it's
to
like
regionals?
300-ish.
300 boats go to regionals.
Yeah.
And so it's like 100.
Yeah, but from each division will go to state. You know what I'm saying? So I think you gotta calculate a 30% zero, at least.
Yeah.
Probably.
At regionals, it's
Yeah.
around 30% zero still.
Yeah.
Um,
Or more. Yeah.
Could be
Yeah.
a tough day. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Possum Kingdom can be like really up
Yeah.
in weight, and like
Or
everyone
really-
catches fish, or it's just like
Yeah.
really not good. Really good. So historically, like Ray Roberts, I think last year for regional was 4.25-ish pounds.
4.25. Mm-hmm. I think I
Um,
weighed in like 9.3 with
yeah.
4. So yeah, I mean.
So Possum Kingdom, I think, should be around if you catch 5 pounds, you should make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
that sounds right.
a lot of the fish during the spawn time get really skinny there,
Yeah.
so I think you're gonna need like at least 2 fish.
I think that'll be post spawn though.
It will be post spawn, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'll be skinny.
They'll be spawned out.
Yeah, they'll be spawned out. So
That's
catch
great.
3 fish and you should be fine.
Yeah.
5 pounds is what I'm putting my mark at to win that tournament.
To win it'll
It
take
can be like
20
27.
Yeah, you'll have to drop a sack.
They'll find
And there's
The
always
fish-
late spawners, like really
Yeah.
late
The big
spawners.
late
Which
spawners, yeah.
will get caught, but
Right. So who knows? Who knows? Ray Hubbard, it's gonna be good. February,
February.
Someone's gonna-
What are you doing right now?
someone might drop 30
Cranking.
pounds.
Cranking?
Like,
Is it rock,
might
riprap, or like?
oh, Sawyer and I went out
yeah,
pre-fishing
Oh, yeah.
last
Yeah,
February.
I remember.
We crushed them.
yeah.
And then
And then this year.
Did you really?
dude, the wind was so bad.
Yeah,
It was
it
worse
wasn't.
than Texoma.
There was nothing.
Worse than
you can do about
Texoma?
it, But
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. And the cold front came in.
Oh.
The cold
Yeah.
front just like, I mean, they were ready pre-spawn, like ready pushing up,
And they got pushed back.
and then it was just whoosh.
That's always
Yeah,
tough.
bait was all suspended perfect. You know, they were chasing, and then cold front comes in, the bait's down to like 30 foot. Like,
Jeez.
wow,
Mm.
that sucks.
I got 4th. So.
Oh.
Or I got 5th. So
I wasn't
Good
out
for me.
here, so.
Gavin was in Virginia.
Still
catching
snowed in.
fishing.
You were ice fishing.
Yeah.
What time of the year was this?
Dropping a little
February.
February? Oh, yeah, probably was ice fishing.
Oh well. Well, I think that'll do it, guys.
Yeah.
I hope all y'all enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what's going on with you. Definitely place an order. Get you some free Lake Fork trophy lures. They're definitely great people. They love stopping by the shop. Love what we're doing here, and we're working with them. Hopefully here on a custom color, as well as some new baits that they're testing out. So definitely stay tuned. make sure to give Bennett and Gavin a follow on the IG or Facebook, and I'll have them linked down below. But guys, have anything else to say, or
just thank you for following
Thanks
us.
for following along this year. We're gonna make next season even better. So
Yeah.
I hope so.
I
hope so.
will.
I hope so,
I
too.
hope.
But
Make it interesting.
Yeah.
that's good, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Lake Pro Tackle. See you guys.
Pro Tackle fam.